I've personally been very intentional about this journey to self-love, self-acceptance. And I believe the more we accept who we are and we chase the healthiest version of who we are, emphasis on who you are, the more happier we'll be with ourselves. Frustration only comes when you're trying to manipulate something into something that it's not. And it's in being myself and embracing who I am that I'm able to attract my tribe. Hi guys, welcome to Mochunkstv and welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where we have controversial debates and honest conversation. So guys, today I want to talk about self-love, self-acceptance, something that I know that in this generation it's not easy to love and accept yourself, especially when you don't perhaps meet societal ideals and standards of beauty, or say there is like a chain of what we consider to be the standard of beauty. Say you don't fit right at the top, because I believe there is like a range of what we consider to be beautiful. Whilst everything is beautiful, there is like a range of what might be the standard in terms of like media, what is portrayed on TV, what majority of people tend to like. And not everybody fits that. We are the human population, we're not a monolith, where there's a variety of who we are, and it can be hard if you don't fit right at the top, or whatever it may be, or whatever the world has made to be the top. Because I'm trying to be very careful with my language. You may not feel like you quite fit there, and you may, as a result, not have like the best self-esteem, not have, the best acceptance of who you are. I'm a Black woman and I've gone through the motions of, self-acceptance, self-love. I feel like it's a massive journey. I've personally been very intentional about this journey to self-love, self-acceptance, and, just loving who I am and just being who I am as well. Because it's loving who you are, but like hiding it secretly and not really showing it off to the world. But in loving who I am, I've felt more comfortable just being myself in front of the camera. When I meet people, in my relationships with people, I'm just, a bit of Mo, just trying to live my life MC style. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, this conversation was sparked. Let me put some lip gloss on actually. I literally just filmed what's trending. I love chit chat with Mo guys, because I can be so casual with you. So there. That pink is so beautiful. But anyway, let's jump back into the video. So this conversation was sparked over the weekend as a result of Renee, who's a YouTuber, showing us and describing her body as botched as a result of some surgery that she got done to get smaller waist and a big bum, which seems to be like, let's just say not the standard, but a high standard of beauty. In our generation, we love, the curvature on women. Kim Kardashian kind of body is what, we consider to be like the most sexy. And a lot of women, have gone out of their way, done surgery, trying to chisel their body, look like that. Some women, have opted for the gym, again, trying to chisel their body into, this big bum. It's not really about health for some people. When they go to the gym, it's about having that perfect aesthetically deemed to be perfect. And it's actually really, really dangerous, because obviously we've seen what's happened with Renee, and I love that she's been so honest, about her experience, to kind of tell young girls, love yourself. And this has sparked a lot of discussion, that even saying going to the gym, is that really helpful? I think the real conversation should be focused on being the most healthy version of yourself. And also the real conversation should be, why is that the standard of beauty? Why is that what we all deem as acceptable? At the back of our heads somewhere, even me, at the back of our heads somewhere, we have an ideal body type. We have an ideal hair type. We have an ideal skin type, skin tone. We have an ideal height. We just so many different ideals that we have at the back of our mind, that if we don't quite fit that, we don't feel fully comfortable and happy with who we are. And like I mentioned, as a Black woman, I've personally gone through the motions of accepting who I am. You guys know that I lost a lot of weight over the last 2 years, but I tell you, I was happy even when I was a size 18, because if you don't love yourself, who will? But the reason why I did lose weight was for health benefits. I do feel a lot lighter now. My skin feels better, my hair feels better, my overall health is just improved. I wasn't officially diagnosed, but I did see signs when I was a lot bigger of, like, I believe it's type 2 diabetes, the one that you can reverse by losing weight. I did see signs of that, but I think I'm a lot healthier now. And for me, that journey wasn't to fit an aesthetic, it was to be healthy. But what we're seeing now is people are chasing a particular body type, not for health, but for aesthetics, for Instagram likes. And that's really dangerous. That's really damaging mentally, especially if you don't quite achieve it with everything that you do. Because what you see now is people try to morph their body into something that it's not. If your genome, you guys know I'm a scientist at heart. If your genome, your genetics does not code for that particular body type, it doesn't matter how much weight you lose, it doesn't matter how much weight you lift, you're just killing yourself. It's not going to happen. And that's not to say there aren't people that haven't built a booty in the gym. There are some people that have not, but the amount of work that you have to put in to get there, I don't believe the average person, that's what I personally think, I don't think the average person can change their genetics around to code for hips that, their genetics just didn't put in there, or for a bum. What you're doing is you're working with the muscle. You're not really, do you understand? You can't change your hip shape in the gym. And I believe the more we accept who we are, that's who we are, and we chase the healthiest version of who we are, emphasis on who you are, the more happier we'll be with ourselves. Frustration only comes when you're trying to manipulate something into something that it's not. And even recently, I've been trying to grow my hair. Recently, I've been seeing like different hairstyles online, and you guys know, like 4C babes, sometimes we'll be watching these tutorials with girls with a completely different hair texture to us, and we think we can do the same thing, and then we're frustrated. How is your hair going to do what her hair is doing if you don't have the same hair to begin with? Of course it's going to look different. I have 4C hair. It's not going to look as shiny as, some of these other naturalistas online, because that's just not the makeup of my hair. The best I can do is make my hair as healthy as it can be, moisturize it as much as I can, use my water, feed it. It's like a plant. But I will only get frustrated, and I did get frustrated over this weekend actually. Those of you that will go on to watch the video, I did get frustrated when it didn't quite turn out like the tutorial I watched, but it's like, but Mo, this is how your hair is, make it work. And it was actually, when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, how can I make this hairstyle work for me? And then I started feeling a bit more happier, because I've accepted, okay, that's not me, this is me. This is how it's going to, this is my beauty. Do you understand? When you start using other people as a litmus test for if something is good enough for you, that is the quickest way to be frustrated and start to resent yourself. Let's just take it back to this whole body confidence thing. I did see some interesting commentary with regards to this, and I agree with, basically this person said, be more nude. This doesn't mean go outside and be nude, but look at your body. Sometimes we spend so much time just covering it, but quarantine is a perfect time to wear less indoors. Really look at your body in the mirror. Spend time looking at that stomach you don't quite like. Spend time looking at your thighs that you don't quite like. Embrace it. Me, I am now a size 8'10". My thighs are still chunky. Like, people wonder why I won't remove the chunks from my name, because I still have a booty. I still have thighs. That's just my body shape. Like, as it keeps going down, the bottom will still always be bigger. So I just have to accept that about myself, and I do recognize actually that sometimes it's easier to accept yourself when you look more like societal ideals. So when it comes to body confidence, because I've always had a bum, I haven't really been unconfident about myself. Even when my stomach was big, guys. People that are close to you will tell you that most confidence was through the roof because of that booty. And that's because having a bum is like great in society's eyes. So it's much easier for me to accept that about myself. But when it comes to things like my hair, I have to work a bit more. When I see on Instagram, for example, bare bad bees and the babes with the long hairs. And that's not to say that I never switched to a wig, but because I'm very intentional about loving my hair, I don't want wigs to be my default. My natural hair is my default. And I actually think I look better with my natural hair as well. I don't like how fake wigs can look sometimes when it's done well. Like when I get my sister to do my hair, when it's done really well, it looks really nice. But those are like one-offs. I don't see myself doing that every day. Like I see myself representing me as me every day. I'm more of an Afrocentric kind of person, but sometimes I'll go online and then I'll see, how can I be comparing 4C hair to Brazilian bundles? It just doesn't make sense, and I'll be feeling like, oh, this isn't quite pretty. But when I center again and I'm like, oh, this is me, this is actually really beautiful. I'm not comparing myself against that. But why I said that is because, okay, with body confidence, I might find that a bit easier. But with hair, I do have to pep talk myself a bit more. Not to say I don't love my hair, but there are moments, if you're a natural babe, you know, there are moments where I'm like, man, or more, I'm going to cut this hair and that's just going to be the end of it. But, you know, we persevere and we're intentional. That's why I come on camera with my natural hair, with my natural hairstyles. I come, you know, I meet people. Whenever I go to speaking engagements, I'm very intentional about wearing my natural hair. I only reach for the wig if it was like a last resort. Looking in the mirror to see if my camera's still recorded. But yeah, presenting yourself, I think that's one of the best ways, like with the body, showing up, you know, show those areas within reason that you may not quite like. Seeing it more, it makes you more accepting of yourself. And I think another thing that kind of affects this generation is not just I love me and I'm okay with it, but it's also how will they receive me? So be it in friendships, when we go to work, you know, some things can be quite political, especially with like hair, skin, you know what I mean, guys. Relationships, that's another big one as well. We feel like if we don't fit the ideal stereotypes, who's gonna love me? And I just want to like cancel that in like whoever's heads might be watching this, because I believe so strongly there is someone for everyone. Oh, that rain is strong right now. I hope you guys can't hear that too much in the recorder. I believe so much there is someone for everybody, yeah. And there is someone that likes your kind, okay? Whilst we're individuals, I believe we do fit into kinds, like Afrocentric, curvaceous, slim, tall, do you understand? There's someone that likes your type, even though it feels sometimes like online, those are the ones that get more love. I think two things can be true. Something can be popular, but also people can still like what's unpopular. So I remember like a year ago, I remember speaking to Shomi, my friend Shomi, and she's a naturalist. And I remember coming out of a situationship and I was like, I don't know, like, you know, when you start second guessing yourself, like, was it me? Was I not attractive enough? And I remember saying to her, I don't know whether it's because I don't wear weave, you know, that he didn't want me. And that was obviously a very sad moment. And I remember her saying that to me, and she was like, you know, Shomi's plus size, and she was like, look at me, I'm plus size, and I date guys, even though the ideal or the more popularized body type may be slim. And, you know, that highlighted a lot to me in a sense of there is someone that likes your kind. There's someone that likes your kind of woman, your kind of man. You know, for men, I know sometimes it's the height thing that can get to men sometimes. They do get shamed for that. There is somebody that likes your kind. Just keep that in your head. And another thing about that is that when you are not yourself and you try so hard to modify yourself in order to attract, you know, men that like the popular or women that like the popular body type, I don't think it's sustainable. So what happens is on social media, sometimes we morph ourselves into who we're not. Let's be frank, social media is like a dating site now. So you attract somebody based on the fake version of you. And when they now see the real you, they're put off. They're no longer attracted. And, you know, this is when things like ghosting happens, or you just don't understand why the relationship did not go further. Sometimes I believe it's because in those situations they saw the real you and they realized they'd been scammed, bamboozled. That isn't you. That isn't what they were attracted to. So what now happens is that's one loss, yeah. The second loss is that people that would actually have loved your kind could not see your kind because it was covered up in so much fakery that you yourself cannot sustain. So they weren't attracted to the real you, even though they would have been if you showed the real you. So that's 2 losses. You've lost one because you showed the fake you. The fake you attracted somebody. They saw the real you and decided they weren't attracted anymore. The second loss is you couldn't attract the person that would have been attracted to the real you because you were covered and hidden behind the fake you. Does that make sense? Which is why I urge women, be yourself. You don't have to be like the bad bees. If you're a simple bee, be a simple bee and be beautiful being a simple bee. If you're a more casual babe, be a casual babe. You don't have to change yourself to attract people, be it friendships or relationships. The best thing you can do for yourself is be yourself, and you know that person loves you for you. You know that they've seen you without the contour and the highlight, and the weave and the waist trainer or whatever it may be. I don't think there's anything wrong with improving yourself. Sometimes, it might be a thing of you might want to get better at makeup. You may want to have longer hair like me. You may want to be slimmer. You may want to be healthier. But don't do it at the detriment of your mental health, for example. Don't do it for aesthetics. Aim for health, not aesthetics. At the end of the day, you will always revert back to your default. I think about, even as I'm saying that now, I think about when I first came on YouTube, and something that I was very insecure about was my accent. Those of you that know my journey know that I grew up in Nigeria, came here when I was 10. So I've always had a hybrid accent. Tried to hide my Nigerian sound, but actually I sounded silly. I sounded so silly. I think I sound so much better just talking how I would talk at home. Of course, when I'm with more Nigerian people, I do sound a lot more Nigerian. But this is just me talking naturally. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. I'm not thinking about how I'm pronouncing things. Yes, I do mispronounce things sometimes, but I embrace that that's who I am. And it's in being myself and embracing who I am that I'm able to attract my tribe. So many of you are like me, and that's the beauty of being yourself. But if I was to be a fake version of myself, I would attract a tribe that likes that. But eventually, because we are human, we always reset back to our default settings. And when they see the real you, it's not that the real you is unattractive, it's that the group that you've attracted are not attracted to that. So be yourself so you can attract your tribe. And that's all I really have to say in terms of this topic on self-love. So my question to you guys is, what are the things that you've had to grow to love and accept about yourself in your journey to self-love and self-acceptance? Were some things harder than others? Were some things easier than others? What are the challenges that you face and how have you overcome them? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. And that's all I really have for you guys in terms of Chit Chat with Mo. Make sure if you liked it, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time, guys, peace and love, peace and chunks.